Hello and welcome to Menu Mastery. This is the series where we help you talk about food with the confidence of a seasoned pro. Today, we're jumping right into what I think is one of the most important parts of any meal, the appetizer.
You've been there, right? A customer looks up from the menu and asks that one question. It can really put you on the spot. You know the food is fantastic, but sometimes just finding the right words in English, well, that can be the biggest challenge of all.
And that's when you feel it, isn't it? Your heart starts beating a little faster. It's that moment of pressure. You want to give a perfect recommendation, but your mind just kind of goes blank.
But listen, it really doesn't have to be like that, I promise. With just a few simple tools, you can answer that question with total confidence. So today, let's do this. Let's master the art of the appetizer together.
All right, so first things first. Before we can get into describing them, we need to make sure we're all on the same page. What exactly is an appetizer anyway?
So, here's a quick thing you need to know. In American English, you're going to hear appetizer, but in British English, it's much more common to hear starter. The good news? They both mean the exact same thing, a small dish to get the meal started.
Okay, so we know what to call them. Now, let's break them down. You see, once you understand the main categories that appetizers fall into, describing them becomes so much easier. First up, we've got soups. And you know, soups can be anything from a really light, clear broth to something thick and hearty, like a chowder. Just knowing the specific type, like if it's a cream soup or a bisque, that's your first step to a perfect description.
Next up, of course, salads. You're going to find these on pretty much every menu. And words like fresh, crisp, and light, those are your best friends here. You'll usually see the classics, like a garden or a Caesar, maybe alongside a special house or seasonal salad.
Now for a category that is always a huge hit, finger foods. We're talking bruschetta, spring rolls, sliders, wings, the whole shebang. And here's a pro tip. These are almost always a fantastic recommendation because they are just perfect for sharing.
And kind of in the same family, you have your dips and spreads. This is another really social, shareable option. I mean, just think of creamy hummus with warm pita bread, or some fresh guacamole served with tortilla chips. It just sounds good, right?
So, we've got the categories down. Now we need the right words. Let's build what I like to call your vocabulary toolkit. These are the words that are going to make the food sound just as amazing as it actually tastes.
You know, the easiest way to think about this is to split the words into two groups. First, you have texture words. That's all about how the food feels in your mouth. Is it crispy, creamy? Then you have taste words, which is all about the flavor. Is it savory, rich, spicy?
Let's start with a great texture word, crispy. You're going to use this one a lot, especially for fried foods like calamari or spring rolls. Crispy perfectly describes that firm, satisfying crunch you get when you take a bite.
Here's another essential one, especially for meat or seafood. Tender. This just means the food is soft and really easy to cut and chew. And when you tell a customer something is tender, you're also letting them know it's been cooked with quality and care.
Okay, let's move to a crucial taste word, savory. Most appetizers you serve are going to be savory. It's a simple way of saying the food is not sweet. It's got those delicious flavors that come from things like herbs, meat, or cheese. Think of it as the opposite of a dessert. Okay, so we have the words. Now how do we put them together into phrases that sound professional? Let's look at some simple but really effective ways to make a recommendation.
And you really don't need to be complicated here. Simple phrases often work best because they sound confident and helpful. For example, just starting with, "Our most popular appetizer is a fantastic and easy way to begin."
Now, let's get into a scenario that comes up all the time, answering specific questions. Customers will often ask you to compare two different items on the menu, and you need to be ready for that.
Here's a classic example. A customer sees two salads and wants to know which one to choose. This is your chance to really step up and help them out. Here is a simple three-step formula you can always use. First, describe one dish. For example, the Caesar salad has a creamy dressing. Second, describe the other dish. The garden salad has a lighter vinaigrette. And third, just state the key difference. So, the Caesar is richer while the garden salad is lighter. It's simple, clear, and incredibly helpful.
All right, theory is one thing. Let's put everything we've learned together and see how it sounds in a real conversation.
So, the server starts with a polite, professional opening. This is the perfect way to start the conversation and introduce the guest to some great options.
And there it is. the question we've been preparing for. The customer is asking for your expert opinion.
Now notice how perfect this response is. The server starts with one of our key phrases, our most popular starter. Then they use two great descriptive words we just learned, light and flavorful. It's confident and helpful.
Here comes a very common follow-up question. The customer wants to know about the portion size, especially if they're planning to share.
The server answers directly and confidently, confirming it's a good choice for sharing. And then they finish by politely asking for the order. This is excellent, professional service from start to finish.
So, let's do a quick recap. Today, we covered the main appetizer categories. We built up our vocabulary for taste and texture, we learned some key phrases for making recommendations, and we practiced a simple formula for answering customer questions.
You now have a strong foundation for describing appetizers with confidence. If you're ready to continue your journey to menu mastery, you can find our complete English for Waiters course at theeslroom.com. Thanks so much for joining me today.